Today on Attack of the Show, downhill racing, flying midgets, and a raging bull. Layla interviews the jackasses from Jackass 2.
I'm completely ashamed of myself.
Then, we tackle advertising in the virtual world. Is nothing sacred? And Chris Gore is master of the universe as He-Man visits DV Doomsday. All this and more on a live and battle-ready Attack of the Show starting right now.
Well then, let's get this expedition underway.
Drop the beat. Attack.
What's going on here?
Attack.
Pick up on this.
Attack.
Attack of the show. Attack.
That guy has his shirt on. Welcome to Attack of the Show, TV's only source for all the stuff you care about. I am Zach Selwyn, and like Barbossa, I have seized control of the Black Pearl, while Kevin and Olivia are on assignment in Tokyo. But I have not done it alone. Joining me this week is the lovely, the talented, the talentedly lovely Michelle Merkin.
Why, thank you, darling. You can keep going as long as you want.
Sure, I can compliment you.
You know, it's funny. It's kind of embarrassing, really. I have like a little confessional, if you will. When they asked me to come and host the show, I didn't realize that they wanted me here for the whole week. I thought it was going to be like just for like a day. I didn't really read the fine print.
You thought that $100 paycheck was for only one day?
Crazy, right? But,
yeah,
but
that's
I'm
5
here,
days right there, baby.
And I'm happy, and I love your work.
Love your work.
I love you.
Well, the ratings
And
are
I
up
love you guys.
0.01%, so we're very excited.
Oh,
very
yay!
happy. You
Love
know who's
you.
not happy, though?
Who?
Fans of nipples everywhere.
Oh, no. Now, I mean, it's like, haven't those nipple fans suffered enough?
That's what I would say, but
like-
apparently it seems that Desperate Housewives star Terry Hatcher is concerned that her perky little milk spigots are costing her show money. Now, apparently they have to spend extra cash to have them digitally removed so as to not offend the primetime audience. I personally, I need to see nipples to watch Desperate Housewives.
Come on, it's not like she's the only one with this problem. I mean, let's talk about America's favorite anchor woman.
Sure.
Katie Couric has always been,
yeah, look at those.
You know, smuggling those raisins. Yeah.
Turn on your heart light, Katie, you know. And of course, who can focus on the topic of the day when, you know, the View den mother Barbara Walters keeps signaling us that the turkey's done, you know? Bing, 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 bing. Oh, okay, some things cannot be unseen. I'm going to live with that the rest of my life.
Yeah,
That's
you know
great.
what's funny? I thought Rosie was the one with that problem. But maybe I'm confusing her again with Hurley from Lost. He's been struggling with those man-o-teats since season 1.
Yeah, man boobs are kind of funny.
Kind of looks like you. It's weird.
Well, I had mine taken out a few years ago. They were getting a little doughy. you know.
Yeah, I hate it when that happens. But enough of that. We need to reach elbow deep into the internet and see what we can pull up.
That's right. It's time to go around the knot.
Everyone has that friend who constantly emails quizzes and tests about the most ridiculous things. And we've got one that, well, it takes the cake. Sex toy or baby toy is the question. Let's play along and find out for ourselves.
I'll play.
Okay, first up, what do you think, Zach? Sex toy or baby toy?
That is obviously a baby toy because my son has that exact same thing. He plays with it. He puts it in his mouth all the time. I love it. It's one of his favorite toys.
This is gonna freak you out a little bit. Yeah, it's a sex toy. Those are the royal balls.
Oh, God. Riser, take that out of your mouth.
Yeah, Riser's been playing with the royal balls. Oh. How about this?
All right. That's easy. That's a baby toy. Yeah, we have that at home. It's one of those baby spoons. Yes, it is.
It's a
see
baby
that?
spoon. You actually got one.
Yeah, you see
okay,
that?
this one's gonna be a little trickier.
Let's see what we got
Are
here.
you ready?
Mm-hmm.
Sex toy, baby toy.
Baby toy, easily. That's the same exact thing. I play with that too. I put that. Oh, okay.
Yeah. See, that's a sex toy, and it's more commonly known as the pink plug.
Not a pacifier, baby. Not a pacifier. Daddy's coming home with some Listerine.
If your
out
kids
of mouth.
are playing with the
Ixnay
pink
on
plug.
the ink pug lug pay.
Yeah, who's feeling dirty now?
I am, and you know what? I think if we keep talking about this, we're going to get fined by the FCC. So I'm going to say let's move on a little bit, huh?
Really?
Yeah, please.
Okay, let's do that.
My family trauma is already beginning. My kid's 4 months old. Now, there's nothing worse than an unresolved argument with a friend, such as West Coast or East Coast?
West Coast.
West Coast? But now, thankfully, there is a solution and a final judge for all of life's problems. LetTekkenDecide.com is here to help. Look at this. All you need to do is select your fighter, you pick your battle, and you let Tekken do the rest. I'm ready to go. I'm thinking Zach versus Michelle. Who's the better co-host? You ready to throw down? Just a little friendly contest.
Bring it, bitch. Bring it. I'm going to take you down to Chinatown.
Okay, that's a good one.
Let's go.
Sure, you're going down, Michelle. You know, let's see. All right, I'm going to be I'm the guy. You're the,
take that.
Oh, I just spit out a tooth. Come on, you're going down.
Yeah.
Watch this. Ready for this? I went to samurai school.
Just a little darting action.
You know what? Watch this. Oh, yeah.
Oh, come on, man. That's cheating.
Nope, that is the atomic burp blast. I had a garlic bagel and 11 beers for lunch. I won. I'm the superior host, baby. So sorry, baby. So sorry.
It's not over until it's over. Selwyn, sleep with one eye open.
I always do.
Oh, okay.
You should know that.
I'm upset, but I'm gonna just keep it in and cry later, because unlike the guy in this very last clip, everyone hates the jerk whose cell phone goes off at the worst possible time, whether it be during a funeral, a movie, or, you know, in the middle of a Yanni concert. I just hate it when that happens.
No, I gotta call you back.
Or when I'm talking, because I'll have to call you back, because it's really about me. This next clip from YouTube shows a college professor who's really had enough.
Today, like a lot of what we do today is look at work and hopefully answer questions you guys have about work. Can I have that for a second?
Oh, yeah, dude. That guy rules. I'm taking your class, man.
He rocks.
Thank you. Finally, someone who does what we've all wanted to do since the invention of the beeper, man. Just crush that thing, you know?
Just break it down and smash it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, I'll do it to my phone right now.
Oh, do it. Do it.
This was $11.
I double dog dare you.
I don't want to mess with it.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Dirty pictures and unchecked aggression. Just another day for this show.
Of course, go to g4tv.com/AOTS for the links to everything you just saw and settle the score once and for all. Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Right now, it's time for the only news you need to know. Here's Layla Kaylee and the feed headlines.
Thank you, Zach. Here's what's coming up in the feed. First, Lord of the Rings author J.R.R. Tolkien hasn't let death stop him from publishing. Plus, is Joss Whedon returning to Buffy the Vampire Slayer? I have the answer. And find out how the government is using YouTube to spoil your fun. It's all coming your way in the feed. But first, back to the couch.
Thank you, Layla. Now, since we have a tendency to get lonely, we need to hear from you at home. And when I say when, I mean right now. My boy Nate from the land of cheese, Wisconsin, is in the monitor head. Nate, what's going on, my brother?
Talk to us.
Hey guys, this is Nate from Annecy, Wisconsin. What kind of in-game advertising is the worst?
What kind of in-game advertising is the worst? Well, I remember playing Pole Position and like the little Konami sign would come up along the wall as you were driving. That was always distracting.
Yeah, but that was way back when. I mean, nowadays, it's like they give you a full commercial, like 15 minutes of like, hi, eat McDonald's and stuff. I mean,
yeah, there's that one scene, I think, in one of the Grand Theft Autos where there's a stripper on the pole, and then like you see a Burger King sign in the back. Not cool. You know?
What, the stripper or the Burger King?
Just the Burger King. You know.
Of course.
The problem is more and more companies today are putting commercials and logos all over video games. In fact, just last week, Electronic Arts announced a major deal with advertisers.
So we have to ask, when you pay for a game, don't you pay for the right not to be annoyed by commercials? Is it game on or game over for in-game ads?
You can vote on our website, g4tv.com/AOTS, or text your vote to G4TXT. That's 44898 to vote and register for AOTS live news alerts.
Word.
Coming up later on this show called Attack, we're going to show you some footage from the crazy cool new animated film Renaissance, starring the new James Bond. Very exciting.
So don't even think about heading for the doors. We've got more Attack of the Show coming up after these examples of non-in-game advertising.
Space battles and sexual boundaries with Chris Gore on DV Tuesday.
Playtime is over.
And is it love before sex or the other way around? The answer is in your pants.
Attack of the show. Attack.
What's going on here?
Attack of the show. Attack.
Welcome back to Attack of the Show. I'm Michelle Merkin, and I'll be your narrator. I have a fabulous story for you, but for now, you're going to hear the story later. I'm going to have to ask the cameras to point away from me. It's going to be hard, and focus on Zach. Do we think we can do that, guys? Yeah? Okay, good.
Bad idea, cameras. I'm sure the viewers would much rather look at her. But thank you, Michelle. I'm excited because it's that magical day when new movies flirt with us from the store shelves, and Chris Gore plays Cupid. Yes, it's DV Tuesday. Man,
Nice.
Nice to see you, brother.
This is fun. It's sort of like your parents are out of town, and we can totally mess with the house.
I know. I just raided the liquor cabinet.
No, Kevin and Olivia. This is great.
Oh, it's so relaxed around here.
Awesome.
Everyone's so happy. It's amazing.
Cool. Oh, yeah, DVDs.
No, you got some DVDs with you?
I have some DVDs today.
Cool. Well, I hear the first one is one that's very close to my heart, a little Battlestar Galactica, season 2.5. What's going on with this baby?
First of all, if you've been watching Battlestar Galactica on the Sci-Fi Channel, it's a fantastic series. Not just about the gadgetry, it's also about the politics, religion of the human race. So this is, of course, the second half of season 2, which left an amazing cliffhanger. If you haven't seen it, you have to see it. You absolutely have to catch it on DVD. And what's great about this collection of DVDs is it has all the podcasts that creator Ron Moore did on the sci-fi.com website as the commentary. So every single episode has commentaries. It's like Ron Moore and Friends, because at some point you'll hear his wife in the background kind of yelling at him.
Honey!
And then he talks about the message boards, and he can be heard often drinking scotch and smoking cigars.
Well, that's the reason to buy the DVD right there.
Which is a lot of fun.
What other kind of extras you got on this thing?
Other extras include some behind the scenes and these video blogs on the set and whatnot, involving the making of it. I mean, this series is really, I think, not just, it's to me surpassed Star Trek, which is of course where Ron Moore came from, in terms of its relevance in what's happening today. Because they say great science fiction is all about, really about modern day.
I see a future Loop episode, by the way, with you in it.
Possible,
you just set that one up.
Possible Loop episode.
Do they talk about Edward James almost acne in there? He's got some serious.
No, they don't talk about it, but it could be space acne.
Space
You never know. It's space acne.
Yes. What's the bottom line on this?
Bottom line on it, there's like a ton of extras. It's a fantastic show. It's a buy. It's definitely a buy. It's that good.
Buy Battlestar Galactica. What about this next DVD, Hard Candy? Now, to me, Hard Candy was a Counting Crows CD that flopped.
Well, this is an independent film that was at the Sundance Film Festival, and it starts out kind of like any normal Zach Selwyn day.
Right.
Chatting with underage girls online, finding a place to meet because you're a photographer on the side.
Dunkin' Donuts Tiffany tomorrow at 7 a.m.
And then seducing them and bringing them back to your apartment for something to happen.
Okay.
But what happens is the young girl in this story, Haley, turns the table on this photographer. And actually, I don't want to tell you exactly what happened, but let's say it involves stirrups, some home surgery, and the family jewels going down the garbage disposal. So, yeah, I mean, Hard Candy is, I would describe it as not really a horror film, but a real-life horror film, because it's actually based on something, believe it or not, that
really goes down.
That really goes down. In 60 Minutes did this report on girls in Japan that would seduce businessmen.
Do you have that DVD?
I don't have that DVD, but what they would do is basically get them together and beat the crap out of them after they would try to seduce these young girls. So it's based on actually that news story.
Okay. Any special features with this thing?
Packed with stuff. There's 2 layers of commentary, one from the actors, one from the director, David Slade, and the writer.
One for the cop that arrested the filmmaker after making this.
Exact. And then like a bunch of behind-the-scenes stuff about how the film was made. This is basically one of those great indie films where the entire action of the movie really just takes place in one room.
So what's the bottom line?
But it's absolutely riveting. The bottom line is, this is a hard film to watch, but it's a must-see, if that makes any sense, which makes it, for me, a rent.
Okay, not a buy, not something you're throwing at a party, but something you got to check out.
Wouldn't make it a date movie.
Right.
But definitely one to not miss.
Well, talking about date movies, I'm sure this is one that I know I'm going to watch with some lovely lady eventually. He-Man and the Masters of the Universe, Season 2, finally! The second season, the one I always love.
If you've been waiting with bated breath for Season 2, it's here, folks. It's here. More He-Man than you can put your fetish clothes
Shake a
on
staff
with.
at.
But, look, I was not a He-Man fan as a kid, so I don't have all those good memories of watching it on Saturday morning, but I'm sure a lot of people who see this will think, hey, it's not as good as I remember. That would probably be their first thought. But the other thing that might spring to mind as you're rewatching a lot of these He-Man episodes is there's other things going on in He-Man. I would say that more than meets the eye, and I don't mean in a Transformers sense. I'm saying I think there's something more going on.
Well, let's check it out. You got another clip for us to check out?
We got another clip. Check this out. Tell me if you notice something interesting, maybe a gay subtext. Check it out.
No, this is the real He-Man, Loose. No fooling.
Here, see for yourself.
Wow! The storyteller was right.
Oh, my God.
Yeah.
All right, I'm selling my Skeletor outfit tomorrow.
It's just funny to watch it now. Sort of these are things I never noticed as a kid.
Homoerotic subtext in He-Man.
Well, anyone that would wear the kind of outfit that He-Man
well,
wears.
show me again. Do we have another clip?
I think we have one more clip. Let's check
I want to
this
see
one
that
out.
He-Man guy again.
Okay.
Luce, would you like to be the only boy in Eternia to touch the singing crystals?
Would I? Would I ever?
Well then, let's get this expedition underway.
Singing crystals.
Touch the singing crystals. Should the viewers buy this DVD? I'm getting it. I think it's funny to put on at a party.
Honestly, I got to say this is a skip. It's a pass. I mean, oddly enough, though, the last disc is just filled with extras, but it's about a show that He-Man
doesn't do it anymore.
Doesn't do it. Does not.
More
do
like
it.
she-mail. Thank you, Chris. Visit filmthreat.com or chrisgore.com for more movie info. You better, or Gore's gonna beat you down. Now we're going over to someone who I've actually seen dressed as Tila from He-Man, Ms. Michelle Merkin.
Wow, Zach, thanks again. Bus throwing me under it. I'm going to get my hands on those negatives, and I'm going to destroy them. But in other business, coming up next, we have a special edition of In Your Pants. Woo! Plus, our own Little Will has some tech discounts that are literally a steal. So stick around. Stop it.
Welcome back to Attack of the Show, TV's only source for all the stuff you care about.
I'm going to go out on a limb here, but I imagine that you care a lot about sex.
Oh, yeah.
Call me crazy.
Whether you're having it, you know someone who's having it, or you plan to have some yourself, you need a special edition of In Your Pants. Earlier, Olivia Munn and Anna David sat down and talked about all the dirty business.
Sex columnist Anna David joins me to help answer your sex and relationship questions. First up, Anna is a guy whose friends are picking up his discarded trash.
I just found out my friend started dating my ex-girlfriend. Should I be pissed?
Oh my gosh.
Hell no.
That is like, you should kill him. You should kill your friend. I mean, not really, don't seriously, because he might, because that would freak me out, but that's like the worst thing ever.
It's really bad. I mean, I think that different people have different rules. Like some girls sort of say, if I saw him first, he's mine.
Oh, yeah.
Whereas some guys just don't care. They literally don't care. So, I mean, there's the possibility that your friend just kind of assumed you were one of those guys that doesn't care. But I say something to him, and just be like, look, buddy, whatever. That was not at all cool. This hurt my feelings.
I think really, no matter on what their morals are or where they think the line is, I think everyone knows that it's across the board not cool.
Yeah,
and he's not a good friend. He is definitely. I think you should.
He's not a friend.
Oh, you would never call him. He shouldn't even be in your life because you don't want to make. You want to make sure the next girl you're with doesn't get subjected to him as well.
I just have to say, guys are different about these things.
You know what? I'm dating a guy and he's got a lot of friends, and like he has one friend that's like the biggest dog of them all.
Right.
But I love him. He's the nicest guy ever. But he would sleep with your girlfriend in a second if he could, and everyone knows that's how he is. But it's not cool. Like everyone knows he's like that, and he knows he's like that, and he knows if he did that, it wouldn't be cool. Like even though there's different levels, at the end of the day, I think guys are territorial, and they don't want they don't want anybody else to touch their girl.
But also, this woman isn't blameless either. I mean,
I was going to say that
the
too.
woman is going and dating your friend. I mean, and it seems like at least one of them should have said, "Hey, I hope." The guy should have said, "Is this cool?" And you could have said no, or the woman should have told you.
Definitely.
They both suck.
They both suck, and you just either cut them out or just go and scream
kill
at
them,
them.
as
Kill
you
them.
said.
Kill them. Next is a guy who isn't sure if he should wait for Mrs. Right.
I'm a virgin, and I really want to wait for the right girl, but I'm afraid when I find her, I just won't be any good at sex, so should I just go and get anything I can, or wait for the right girl?
Aw, well, Anna, is there something he can do to prepare? Because you don't want him to just go off and, if he wants to wait for Mrs. Right,
Yeah,
that's
if
really
you've
great.
been waiting, why would you suddenly be like, I'm going to cash in my chips and just, go for whatever I can? I think it's sweet. I don't think that girls look at virgins as something bad. And I think that, the best sort of sexual skills don't come from things you picked up along the way, but sort of your innate sexuality.
True.
And, and just being in the moment.
It's
I mean,
just
the best
God-given.
prep you can do is just, like, start cherishing women.
Okay, well, let me take this a different direction, which I think that's half of it.
Okay.
But you know, when I first had sex, I, you know, obviously was a virgin because it was the first time.
Yeah.
But I had like seen like movies, you know, I mean, not like pornos. I never really watched pornos, but I was pretty concentrated on like what looks good, you know, and what looks hot. And when I first had sex, let me tell you, he did not believe I was a virgin. Just because, like, you know, you have to like get your mind in the right frame of mind. Watch, like, you know, even those romantic movies, watch pornos, see what's good.
What moves were you pulling?
I don't know,
I mean,
but, you know, getting on top right away, not being, like, afraid to do that, like, when it's your first time.
Well, but he's a guy, so he's probably going to do that.
Well, exactly, but he can also, you know, do things like, you know, turn her around. Guys, it's a good move. It makes you feel like the guy's confident. You just turn her around.
Yeah, I think quiet
You just turn
confidence.
her around, and you just slap. No, I'm sorry. Go ahead. What was that?
I think, yeah, confidence is the most important thing. Not like you got to put it here and twist it around and do all of that. You know, we're not impressed by that stuff.
No, but
And
I'm
maybe
impressed
Olivia
if you
is.
turn it around just a couple times. And finally, here's a guy just trying to keep the bun out of his girlfriend's oven.
Is it possible for my girlfriend to get pregnant on birth control? I'm just trying to make sure.
It is possible.
Yeah.
According to Planned Parenthood, 8 out of 100 women who take the pill will get pregnant.
Wow.
But that's if you take it correctly and don't screw with it, you know, your chances are a lot better. A lot of people screw it up. You know, you're supposed to take it at the exact same time every day. You're not supposed to take any medication, even something like St. John's wort or something you'd get at Whole Foods.
like if you get a cold, you get an antibiotic that kills.
Just check. She needs to be vigilant about checking with her doctor about things like that. But, you know, I mean, sadly, the only 100% safe thing to do is not to have sex.
Oh, come on, Anna. That is the worst advice I've ever heard.
I'm not recommending
That is the worst
that,
advice.
certainly.
No. Well, the thing is, condoms, because
are not 100% safe either.
They're not 100% safe. But if you combine that with
the
pill and pulling out, it's like Fort Knox down there. Nothing is getting through, boys. Let me tell you. No babies here, right, Anna?
You do all that? Have you
No.
done all those at once?
The condom and birth control pill.
Yeah. But, you know, it's always, you know, why not throw in there, condom can also protect you from STDs.
Yeah, which
and
is
birth
so
control pills can't
important.
protect you against anything like that.
Definitely. All right. Well, you guys, head on over to our website, g4tv.com/AOTS, to read Anna's answers to all the questions you just heard. And you can find out more about the fabulous Anna David at annadavid.com.
Now, boys, I know you're all hot and bothered, but we're not finished with you yet. Why don't you maybe go pleasure yourself, because we're going to be coming right back.
Nice. Only Little Will's got the goods you really need.
I got some good for you bitches.
And is advertising taking over the virtual world? And is that all bad?
Attack of the show. Attack.
Welcome back. I'm Zach. That's Michelle, and we've got plenty of show to go. Later, we have clips from Renaissance, which looks like it might blow your mind. Not to mention the loop, where we'll blow what's left of your dome. You know what I mean?
And don't forget about our poll question of the day. Is it game on or game over for in-game advertising? Should we have to suffer through commercials for a game we bought? I don't think so.
I think so. Vote at our website, g4tv.com/AOTS, or text your vote to us, because that's what the kids do these days, right? They're into that texting. The texting.
All those numbers. When we want sweet deals on technology, we don't go to some store where everyone's wearing matching golf shirts. No, we don't. We contact the one man who happens to be there every time a truck loses its shipments. It's Lil Will.
What's up, Will?
Guess who's back, nerds? Check it. Lil Will's in the house and I got some good for you bitches. When I'm not playing Madden, I'm playing Test Drive Unlimited on my Xbox 360. The thing is, driving games are whack unless you got a dope wheel like this one from Logitech. Check the bullet points.
If you like driving games, you gotta get this shit. It works with all Xbox 360 driving titles. That's right, bitches, all of them. Logitech is charging like $100 for it, but I found it at SecureMart.com for $70.
You know the deal. You want a smartphone with a full QWERTY keyboard and but your credit is whack. You can go to Singular Verizon and get one on a prepaid plan, but then you gotta pay full price for the mother phone. That. Check the bullet points.
If your credit is whack, check out the Kyocera Switchback for Virgin Mobile. It's got a VGA camera and a full keyboard. You can get one right now at virginmobile.com for $130.
You know I'm down with Bluetooth technology. I still want to look like some goddamn nerd when I'm rocking a headset. Thank God for the Plantronics 590A. Check the bullet points.
This bitch works with Bluetooth-capable phones as well as MP3 players. It has dedicated buttons to control calls and music. But check out this crazy deal. The MSRP is $250, but I found it at technologyparadise.com for $100. That, bitches, is a steal.
Yeah, dog, meet me at the Indie Casino in like a half an hour. And the cops, I better bounce. Anyway, be sure to check out my blog at g4tv.com/ALTS to get links to all this. Till next time, peace, bitches.
Such a troubled young man, that young Lil Will, Michelle.
We
love him. We love him. Michelle, you know what? If he calls you from jail, you're going to have to go bail him out this time because I'm tapped out.
It's your turn, dude.
I don't think so,
turn.
man. No. My money's gone, but I don't want to talk about how I lost it.
Well, you spent all your money at the strip club on Monday night. I'll tell him how you lost it. It's sad, Zach. Sad.
They have great salad bar.
Yeah. Well, problems aside, it's time for the only news you need to know in the feed.
Thank you, Michelle. I'm Layla Kaylee, and it's time to start the feed. Lord of the Rings author J.R.R. Tolkien is releasing material from beyond the grave. An unfinished book called The Children of Hurin has been completed by Tolkien's son Christopher and will be released next year. The book contains elf and dwarf characters who also appear in The Lord of the Rings. Parts of Children of Hurin have been released before, but this is the first time the entire story will be put together. Tolkien's not the only one coming back from the dead. Joss Whedon is returning to Buffy the Vampire Slayer, but it won't be on TV. Whedon is writing a brand new Buffy comic book series for Dark Horse Comics, with the plot picking up from after the final episode of the TV show. Whedon, of course, launched the original TV series to critical acclaim and an enormous fan following. The show lasted 7 seasons. The new Buffy comic will be released next March. It seems like every day someone else is launching a new online media player. Today, it's Microsoft's turn. Microsoft has just unveiled the Soapbox on MSN Video, a new media player that lets users watch and post content. They can also tag clips or link to them from blogs. In other words, it's Microsoft's YouTube. A test version of Soapbox is circulating now with an official launch coming soon. Speaking of YouTube, the government seems to think it's the ideal place to put their anti-drug ads because obviously it was getting too fun. The government sees YouTube as the ideal place to reach young people and influence their behavior. If past war on drugs efforts are anything to go by, the results will probably be spotty at best. However, the government has said that if their ads stop one person from using drugs, they will be considered a success. Way to keep those expectations low. And finally, Paramount Studios isn't satisfied with just firing Tom Cruise. Allegedly, they are now looking to embarrass him. According to wild rumors, Paramount is going to hand over Cruise's Mission Impossible franchise to Brad Pitt. Again, this is all a rumor, but it would be a huge slap in the face to Cruise if it turns out to be true. Cruise and Pitt, of course, co-starred together in Interview with a Vampire. That movie was panned by critics and generally despised by fans of the Anne Rice novel. Well, that's all for today. Be sure to check out g4tv.com/thefeed for all the stuff I didn't have time to get to. And you've just been fed. Back to you.
I'll take the Mission Impossible series.
Oh, you will?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Come
Brad
on.
Pitt or Zach.
Text your vote, g4tv.com.
Now, if I were you guys, I'd plan on sticking around during the break. Also, if I were you, I wouldn't wear that. No, seriously, go change.
It's clashing.
Please. It's just like, looks like...
You can't escape advertising. It's everywhere, including your video games. And
hello, I'm Johnny Knoxville, and this is The Gauntlet.
Join Layla with the cast of Jackass 2.
Welcome back to Attack of the Show. We're live and talking in-game advertising. Now, earlier we asked you, is it game on or game over for those ads? Well, according to our text message counting intern slaves, 57% of you think that it should be game over for in-game advertising.
Now, earlier, Kevin Pereira gathered up a focus group to talk the issue out, and here's what he turned up.
Every single day, we're bombarded with thousands of different advertisements, from TV to billboards, and now it's even creeping into our video games. Where will it all end, folks? Where's the beef? Oh, it's in the loop. Joining us via satellite tonight from San Francisco, Vice President of Double Fusion, a company that puts advertisements into games. Julie Shoemaker is here. From Chicago, writer for ArsTechnica.com, Nate Anderson, and X-Play co-host and my soulmate, Adam Sessler is here. Everybody, welcome to The Loop. Thank you for joining us. I think this is going to get heated here. World wars are started over this particular debate, and that's why, Julia, I want to start with you. Do ads belong in our video games? And for some crazy reason, I think you're going to believe that they do.
Well, absolutely. I mean, Kevin, I spent the last five plus years at Electronic Arts, so clearly the audience should realize I'm a capitalist at heart.
Yeah, EA, the worldwide leader of Burger King ads on billboards, by the way.
Exactly. So absolutely. I mean, definitively, ads belong in games. They belong in games not only because audience wants to have real-world brands. They don't want fake Acme soap. But most importantly, because new revenue streams spur innovation. And that's the one thing I think everybody's missing is like the gamers probably at one point didn't like MMOs and they didn't like a monthly subscription, and now it's an option. And it opens up the landscape for developers and publishers to drive innovation through new revenue streams. Clearly, there is a line.
Sure.
And,
Nate, what do you think about this? I mean, you have a virtual world. Does it add to a sense of realism when you have that Axe deodorant billboard that you slam into at high speed?
Well, I'm not sure that that's really the issue. I mean, I don't know that people play games because they necessarily want realism. I think they play games because they want enjoyment. And speaking personally, and I think I'm speaking for a lot of gamers, having any Acne soap at all, fictional or not, in your games detracts from that enjoyment. So I would say no.
But
or
Adam,
at least
if you're playing
option.
if you're playing a Grand Theft Auto, you're playing a street racing game, when you drive up and down any street here in any major city, you do see billboards, you do see ads.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, it's funny. EA is in probably one of the best situations, I would imagine, to actually have advertising in the games, because in a sports game, that being in a context where I already expect to see advertisements, I don't find it too garish. I thought it went a little bit overboard in Fight Night Round 3, but I think it is more the exception than the rule. A street racing game, I expect to see it. It's when it starts to intrude in a world that really is supposed to be artificial. Grand Theft Auto is even an example. Some urban games, say Saints Row, I think it would fit. Grand Theft Auto, you almost need to believe to put up with a lot of what's in the game, that it is a world of fantasy, and you start to see a Doritos ad or something for Pringles, and it starts to detract from that. It does cheapen some of the experience.
Well, there are times you're in the fantasy, and then there are times you're setting up the fantasy. So, you know, just because it's men in tights doesn't mean we can't have marketing messages as you are building your character set and you're getting in there. I mean, at the end of the day, the advertising is helping defer costs on expensive development. I mean, look at how much money that publishers are spending on next gen, that ultimately, if we were actually seeing the real transfer of revenue, that it would be $70, $80 at retail.
Now, that's true. Now, games have gotten a little more pricey, though, and they have gotten more ads in them as well. In fact, there was a NBA 2K6. You take that game home, and it cuts to the power bar replay. Comes up full screen in the middle of your gameplay experience. And I got to imagine, you know, Nate's a pretty hardcore gamer here. When that happens on your screen, are you a little upset that you just spent 60, maybe 70 bucks on a game, and now you're paying to see these ads in your experience?
Right. Well, I think that's the danger for the companies that are doing the advertising, is the risk of a consumer backlash. People are used to trading advertising for something free or reduced in cost, like a magazine subscription or watching network television. I think when people realize they've dropped 60 bucks on these games only to see a bunch of ads, they may not be as happy about that.
Adam, is there going to be a revolt?
Yeah, but what would the real cost? What would the real cost of that $60 game be if there weren't diversified revenue streams? I mean, that's the bottom line is, you know, last gen, a great game was $8 million to develop. This generation, you're talking $15+ million to develop. So, you know, at the end of the day, if it's done well and it's the right message to the right audience, you know, 60% of gamers, according to Jupiter, say that they are open to ad messaging as long as it's not intrusive on gameplay.
Well,
so
I think that's where the rub is right there. Is I think we haven't found where that line is, where it isn't intrusive. Like Fight Night Round 3, it being a sports game, I expected to put up with a little bit. Towards the end, even the inclusion of the unlockable Burger King, I felt like someone was really trying to get me to eat a burger by the end of it.
Adam, the king was fabulous.
Everybody loved the chance to punch the king, but that's the question, though, is if the line gets drawn in the sand and a company crosses it, what is the backlash? Do consumers have a chance of fighting back if Battlefield, the new version of Battlefield of 2142, has Burger King ads in it? Do we simply not play the game? Do we think gamers are going to be upset at them?
Well, I think, unfortunately, consumers have many more things they should be fighting back against than they don't, so I doubt it's going to happen in this instance. But I think the backlash could only really start to come, and I don't know if this would happen, but in the case where you have seen major advertisers like Johnson & Johnson affect television programming, could there possibly be relationships down the line that might have some influence over the direction that the game actually takes? Most likely in the sense of having extreme content.
Yeah,
I don't believe that happens now, but it is a risk.
Line. That's certainly a tough line because the money is interesting. Obviously, you know, small developers even more so than major publishers are, you know, can be very swayed by that extra money.
Well, if you're relying on those advertiser dollars to fund the game that you're creating, chances are you might listen to their opinions when you're actually developing the title. Will in-game advertising take over our favorite titles, or will gamers rise up and refuse to accept them in their games? Viva la revolution, yada yada, so on and so forth. We get it. Thanks to our guests, Julie, Nate, and Adam, for joining us at the Digital Water Cooler and keeping us all in the loop.
Don't scamper off yet. There's plenty more to come on Attack of the Show, like the return of TV's favorite jackasses, Zach and myself. I have a feeling someone's going to get hit in the crotch.
Hey, don't turn your back on us when we're talking to you. You know what? Now you're going to go chop some firewood tonight, buddy, and your back's going to hurt because you just got landscaping duty. Damn right.
Attack of the Show. Attack.
What's going on here?
Attack of the Show. Attack.
Welcome back to a live Attack of the Show, TV's only source for all the stuff you care about. Michelle and I are co-hosting while Kevin and Olivia are on assignment in Tokyo, and they're smuggling back a whole new week of our craziest shows yet.
That's right. We're going to bring you the latest toys, coverage from the Tokyo Game Show, eat some bizarre food, and raise some hell.
Will O'Neill and I, we went to a Tokyo Giants baseball game. It's actually the Yomiuri Giants because they're sponsored by their corporate owners. A lot different than the Giants in this country, let me tell you. We also really need to bring over those cute Japanese girl. Hey, Kanojo.
Wow. The Culture Clash starts Monday at 7 p.m. with a whole new week of shows. We're going to the source of all that stuff you care about.
Forget about The Departed. Forget about Flags of Our Fathers. This year's real Oscar contender is about to take the box office by storm. Yes, I'm talking about Jackass #2.
Layla Kaylee sat down with the cast and crew to discuss some of the film's high drama, like Johnny Knoxville pleasuring a horse and having Chris Pontius drink it.
Hello, I'm Johnny Knoxville, and I'm here with Matt Hoffman and Tony Hawk, and this is The Gauntlet.
It's been 4 years since the men of Jackass last defiled the big screen, but the Wild Boys are back with fearless and clueless leader Johnny Knoxville leading the way.
So, Johnny, you're a legitimate movie star now. You've done Walking Tall and Dukes of Hazzard.
Oh, yeah, that makes me legitimate.
You're so legitimate, actually.
Oh.
I heard you were nominated for an Oscar, but I'm not supposed to
a
know that.
Razzie.
What made you want to do another Jackass?
This prick.
A usual director, you know, they say, do this in your performance, do this. How do you get these guys ready for something like this?
You know, some of the guys don't even want to know what they're going to shoot until it's their time.
Right.
You know?
I can't even get in this. You can.
Jeff's job as a director, he's got a lot of jobs. You got to try and make sure all the guys are sober-ish. And then he's like, if they're really against doing it, he has to talk them into doing it.
Something in your mind.
Don't push me. I'm on your team.
With Jackass #2, every single person has a moment to be truly ashamed of themselves. For me, it would probably be when I was thinking of my dad as I put that big hose up my butt. For him, I'm sure it was drinking the horse semen.
Yeah. I'm sure it was just like human semen on a bigger scale, but the taste was, it was disgusting.
I'm completely ashamed of myself.
Horses don't eat pineapples. So.
Yeah, it's not
right,
sweet.
it's not sweet. Right.
It was disgusting.
And I know you're wondering, how did Chris get all that horse semen in the first place? Well, wonder no more.
Not too many people can say they pleasured a horse.
No, I can.
You can?
Yeah.
That's the one for the books.
Yeah.
You know?
I want to know how he he pleasured
It was
the horse.
lovely.
Have you tasted horse semen?
No, I can't say that I have, but
It's
it was
delicious,
it was,
sugar.
You're no host.
Maybe I'll try it in
We'll
another
try it out in the
lifetime.
post-show little thing that we do after we're done shooting here. But I just want to know, so
Yeah.
you like hung out with Johnny? Like,
I
what's
did hang
the
out with
dirt?
them.
I want a story. I
You
want
know
like.
what? We weren't even really allowed to show what really went down because
Tell us.
they showed me their willies, right?
The Willie Nelsons?
No, their willies,
Like they
you know,
took their pants off and showed
Yes,
them
like-
their jewels.
Their schwanzes.
full frontal. We call it willies back home. I'm not sure if I'm allowed to say it in an American.
Did you
on
get
TV.
naked?
Oh no. It was enough for me. I got both of them. They all got naked and they got in a lot of trouble for it as well.
Hey,
they
I'll
got
drop
yelled
my
at.
trowel right now for the ladies.
Come on then.
Oh, censor!
God help us all.
I
God
don't
help
think
us
you want to
all.
show them the little ones, Zach. It wouldn't be.
Enough out of you, Kaylee. Jackass #2 opens in theaters this Friday. See it with a crowd because you know someone is going to puke
It's
all
really
over you.
good. You guys should see it.
Hey, put the controller down. We've still got your questions and some kick-ass animation left on TV's only source for all the stuff you care about.
If you haven't been watching Attack of the Show, this is what you're missing. For more info, go to g4tv.com/AOTS.
Attack of the Show.
Welcome back to Attack of the Show. That haggard guy over there is Zach Selwyn, and I'm Michelle Merkin. Coming up tomorrow, we've got some record-breaking events, and I don't mean the smashing of vinyl. We'll attempt to destroy world records live from our studio.
And clear out room in your top 8. We've got your MySpace Girl of the Week. Well, let's hope she's really a girl and not some 47-year-old man. Not cool
Nah,
when
I
that
don't like
happens.
that. That's bad.
Bob from Minnesota.
Yeah.
Finally, we've got a sneak peek at the new animated film Renaissance, and thankfully, this one does not have talking animals or any lame Randy Newman songs. It's a futuristic action thriller about Paris turning into a police state, and the lead character is voiced by none other than the new James Bond, Daniel Craig.
Ooh, that sounds fat. I was like, I can pee now. Oh! We're almost done with the show. And
She has to go to the bathroom.
Renaissance opens in select theaters on September 22nd. For all the things you saw today and more, go to g4tv.com/AOTS. Gosh, this is going to feel really good. We're starting to grow on them, aren't we?
Like a fungus, like
a
athlete's
fungus.
foot.
Well, we've got our hooks on you. I can feel it. And until tomorrow, good night.
Good night. Come back.